Well, you guys thought that I was not gonna do this? Well, guess again. Well, I'm here. If you guys know where I'm at, I'm in Guaymas, Sonora, Mexico. I'm actually here visiting family. But that does not stop me from watching wrestling. Now, I did not watch Impact Wrestling, MLW, and NXT UK. Now, it's unfair for me to watch that because I'm a day behind, and plus, there are other events I really had to watch that I could not miss. Right now, what we got is the finals of the best of the Super Juniors. As you know, we crown this year's winner. Who will walk out? Will it be El Desperado, who's been well recognized in the junior heavyweight division, or is it someone who's been the face of the junior heavyweight division, Hiromu Takahashi? Also, we got AEW Rampage. As you know, they are in Ontario, California. We have a very interesting match between the Lucha Brothers and the Young Bucks. We also got Athena in action against the Baddies, Kiera Hogan, and many other matches. Oh yeah, and the TNT title will be on the line. We're also going to review a past event from last month of May with the Got to Move Mei Suruga 4th anniversary, dubbed as Apple and Crew. And of course, we got some news updates that I feel everybody needs to hear about and know about. So, let's get ready for another episode of the Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Welcome everybody to the Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J-Rod here. So, let's begin with New Japan Pro Wrestling with the finals of the best of the Super Juniors. There are a lot of things that took place, not only just the finals between Desperado and Hiromu Takahashi. We also got certain things that took place that I think we did not anticipate or what did. So let's go and look at what happened. We have our opening match, young lion Rohi Oiwa taking on the veteran. As Kevin Kelly would say, hey look, it's Hamna. Yep, Tomoaki Hamna. Now this match wasn't too much of importance, but however, this entire card was changed. My understanding from Juice Robinson was supposed to be in this match, but however, due to him not feeling well, apparently they're saying that they had to pull out his appendicitis or something like that. But he'll be back better than he ever was before. But in this particular match, it was Tomoaki Hamna that won by pinfall. I would have assumed he would have put him in the Boston Crab like normally we see many of the wrestlers who have done it before to do that to them, but it did not. Next match, we have El Lindaman, Wheeler Yuta, Alex Zane, and Ace Austin taking on Clark Connors, Yo, Titan, and Robbie Eagles. Now, these are 8 of the wrestlers that were involved in the best of the Super Juniors. But I have to say, the better chances was with El Lindaman, Zane, Austin, and Yuta. The reason is 3 of the 4 are the champions. Lindaman is the G-Rex champion, Yuta is the ROH Pure champion, and of course Ace Austin is the Impact X Division champion. It was pretty well. I have to say, seeing Austin and Zane work together has always been one of the things I enjoyed. But it was Alex Zane that finished off the match with the cinnamon roll on who was it? I think it was on Titan. Yeah, on Titan to seal the deal. However, Robbie Eagles will not forget. Looks like he's getting into a big of a scuffle with none other than the current Ring of Honor Pure Champion. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Robbie Eagles made the decision to fly to the U.S. and challenge Wheeler Yuta for the ROH Pure Champion. That is something we can pay attention, but we don't know when will that happen. Next match, we got the United Empire Junior Heavyweight Division. We got Francisco Akira and TJP. Now, these guys are not in a happy mood because it did not resulted the best of the Super Juniors in their favor. Because the idea what Will Ospreay wanted when he recruited Francisco Akira is to clean up the mess that he felt that was left behind as soon as he left. He thinks that it needs to be fixed. So he found Francisco Akira, who is 22 years old, who's been making a name for himself in the junior heavyweight division in Japan. So that's the reason. But however, he and TJP are in a non-title match against the current IWGP junior heavyweight tag team champions 6 or 9, Wato and Taguchi. Now this was more of an aggressive side of Francisco and TJP because they felt this is not how they wanted. But however, it was TJP that put Wato away with the submission, Taguchi with the submission to give them now the message that they may have not have gotten the results in the best of Super Juniors, but they want now the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. Now we don't know if this match can take place in Dominion, but we'll see what happens then, because as you know, in a week's time, on I think next week or so, we will have Dominion in Osaka-jo Hall. Now next up, we got Suzuki-gun members Kanemaru and Zack Sabre Jr. taking on the House of Torture Show and Evil. However, as the House of Torture, as they known for to attack their opponents right from behind, it worked. However, their dirty tricks and tactics could have allowed them to win the match, but however, it was Zack Sabre Jr. who picked up the victory when he submitted Show. But however, this is the thing that now makes perfect sense. They pinned one of the three of the never open weight 6-man tag team champions. Now here's who it goes. We know that Evil, Show, and Yujiro are the current champions, but who will Zack Sabre Jr. and Kanemaru would have in their corner, that in their side in this three-way match, in this trios match? I wouldn't know, but it would be good. Next up, we have, of course, the United Empire, Aaron Henare, Great Khan, and Jeff Cobb taking on the Bullet Club, El Phantasmo, Chase Owens, and Bad Luck Fale. Now keep in mind, the General's Jewel consisted of Fale and Chase. They were the ones that won the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team titles, but they did not need to pin the previous champions, Khan and Cobb. Now their minds right now are saying they want those titles back where they rightfully belong, in the United Empire. Now the match would have gone the United Empire's way. However, the most shocking development is they recruited a new member, and that member, I did not anticipate that. I'm sure none of you did, and that is Ace Austin. Showed his true colors and custom-made cards. So he helped El Phantasmo when he applied these the sudden death, and he pinned Henare. This was a very interesting, but the real question did remain: how long has Jay White planned this? How did he approach them? Did he did the same thing to Chris Bay? We don't know, because we know he's been planning certain things that we don't even know exactly what he's doing. But in the back, as you know, there's been tension. Zayn was not happy for what he saw, but he got himself beat up by all the members. So basically, Ace Austin would rather throw away his friendship with Zayn just to be part of one of the biggest factions ever. But however, the United Empire doesn't believe that they are the biggest faction. They consider some now, but here's what they're saying: that they are a thing of the past. Maybe so, but this is a new era now that we're entering with the Bullet Club, with the return of the Good Brothers back with that. But that's not the best part. We will see something else that you may see later. Now, our next match, we have, this is what happens. Sonata comes out. We haven't seen him since he relinquished the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship, since he had his orbital bone broken thanks to Will Ospreay. However, he did issue a challenge for the IWGP United States Heavyweight Champion, but the problem is Juice Robinson is out. He will be gone for a while. But the real question is, can it happen or like sooner, or do we wait? Because the thing is this, Juice Robinson just recently posted a video. He feels right now Moxley or Tanahashi are not talking about trying to reclaim the IWGP United States title. They felt like, okay, they get it. They're not coming after it. But Will Ospreay is. He feels that he was cheated out from this, and he's complaining. But Juice Robinson did stated, get in the back of the line. You got pinned. You lost. It's over. But I don't know how he would feel about Sonata. That's a different story. But we won't know for sure until we hear from him what he says or what the New Japan officials would say. Now, our next match, we have Suzuki-gun, Taka Michinoku, Doki, and Taichi taking on the members of LIJ, Bushi, Tetsuya Naito, and Shingo. Now, keep in mind, we will see Taichi and Shingo face off for the KOPW trophy. We don't know if we're going to see something special. But however, in this particular match, Shingo was the one who picked up the victory when he pinned Taka Michinoku, but sending a direct message to Taichi. Now, it was Shingo who defeated Taichi for this trophy, but can he overcome it? We don't know. We will see what happens when that day comes. Now, our next match, we have Bullet Club consistent of Gedo, Taiji Shimori, Doc Gallows, and Jay White. But however, he brought in a surprise visit from someone we haven't seen for quite some time, and that is Kenta. Now, the real question did remain by certain people. That Kenta will side with Jay White, because keep in mind, Taichi and Kenta were the ones who were brought in by Tama, and they decided to turn their backs on him. That's a different story. But their opponents, on the other hand, is Toru Yano. Now, Yano was not supposed to be in this match, but due to the fact that Tanga Loa got hurt, he stepped up the game on this one. So it's him with Yano, Tama Tonga, and Kazuchika Okada. Now, keep in mind, in Dominion, Jay White claims that he will take the IWGP Heavyweight title away from Okada and continue to prove that this is still his era. But the match was pretty amazing in every way. But however, the factor is Kenta was outside watching the backs of his Bullet Club teammates. But it was the gun stun to seal the deal on Gedo, and it was over. So we will see what happens then. But don't forget, Tama does have a target on his back. We were supposed to have Carl Anderson there, but he wasn't feeling well. So we'll see what happens. Now, our main event is the finals of the Best of the Super Juniors. Now, keep in mind, these two guys, Desperado and Hiromu, have been facing off each other for a long time, as we can remember. You have Hiromu Takahashi, who's been the face of the company for quite some time. Desperado, he's the opposite of me. He doesn't want to be the face. He wants to be the guy who's a fighting champion who keeps on fighting. And that kind of tells us the story. But the match itself was amazing. You can tell these guys have been rivals for a long time. But the real question, who will walk out? Now, as you know, the only weakness that Desperado has is when he already applied one Pinchy Loco. He thinks that a second one will steal the deal for good measures. But however, that doesn't work. However, Hiromu was able to overcome that by applying Time Bomb and Time Bomb 2 and giving them to become this year's Best of the Super Juniors. So we will probably see him face Taiji Shimori. Now, keep in mind, this match could take place in Wrestle Kingdom, but anything could happen between today all the way to then. So I think that's pretty much it, what we got with New Japan Pro Wrestling. I believe it's time for AEW Rampage. Okay, so let's talk about AEW Rampage. As you know, we're still coming out of the fallout from Double or Nothing. Opening match was, of course, the Lucha Brothers, Penta and Phoenix, taking on Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks. Now, these guys have faced each other 8 times. Now 5 out of the 8, the Lucha Bros came on top, while 3 out of the 8, it was the Young Bucks. But the real question is, who will walk out of this one as the winner? However, the Young Bucks do have a bit of a sight of getting their hands back on the AEW World Tag Team titles, which are titles they lost or previously before, but now they could actually obtain those titles. But they have to go through the Lucha Brothers. Now, these two teams have faced each other many times over, but every trick in the book that the Bucks have tried did not put away the Lucha Brothers like they hoped for. But in this particular case, it was, of course, the unmasking of Penta by Matt Jackson to put him down, to ensure he does not help Phoenix, as soon as another second BTE trigger came in and finished him off once and for all. And they sent a direct message to Lucha Brothers, to Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, that they were coming for those titles one way or the other. And of course, Adam Cole saying those titles are coming home to the Undisputed Elite. Now, our next match, we have Hobbs and Starks taking a couple of wrestlers here from California. If you don't know who they are, it's Jordan Cruz and Judiz. I have seen these two guys in Level Up on certain occasions. Jordan Cruz, I've seen him at least a few times. Majority of the times I've seen him in Level Up. But this was more of an easy peasy match, where the jobber's job is to lose. It was Hobbs that picked up the victory when he pinned Judiz. Now, our next match, we got Kara Hogan along with Jade Cargill, Red Velvet, and Stokely Hathaway against the debut of Athena. Now, keep in mind, Athena has her sights set for the TBS Championship. However, this is a match. Now, Hathaway doesn't think this will make any money, but however, I don't think she's ever met someone like her. Athena, who's been very well known throughout the wrestling world, not to mention where she originally from, but WWE has now been clear that this is where she should be. But however, as you know, the only factor in this match is Red Velvet that will do anything to ensure to slow down the momentum of Athena, to ensure to prove a point that she will not get an opportunity for the TBS title. But however, nothing stopped Athena. As you know, she has been on fire ever since she went back to the Independents, and that's exactly what she did. However, this particular one, she did the Eclipse onto Kara Hogan and giving her the victory. But however, the look on Jade Cargill's face showed that she's a little bit worried. Now, Jade, who's been very confident in every opponent that she has challenged. Remember, she never took Marina Shafir seriously. None of her opponents that she has ever faced were taken seriously. But now it appears that she could be a bit more worried about Athena, because she's a much of a big name than her. That's the problem. And Hathaway doesn't see it that way. But we'll see where that goes from there on. Now, this is the interesting news that took place. We did not anticipate a lot after what happened in Double or Nothing when Punk defeated Hangman Page to become AEW champ. However, the biggest shocking developments that took place in this particular address, Punk has announced that he was in fact injured. This kind of put in a big predicament for us fans. We did not anticipate this was going to happen. We did not see this was going to come into a situation like this. Now, we've seen in the past when wrestlers are injured, they have to relinquish the title. That was the thing we were expecting, because he needs surgery now. But according to Tony Khan, he feels that he doesn't want Punk to relinquish the title. This happened during the main event. But however, I'm not going to speak about the main event. I'm going to speak the information that was given during the main event. Tony Khan announced that there will be an interim AEW World Champion. And the first person who will be is going to be Jon Moxley, but there's going to be a bit of a battle royal to see who will face Jon Moxley for this title. So basically that's going to take place. Now, the reason of this match is taking place, we're getting closer now to the Forbidden Door, the biggest pay-per-view we cannot see. The two biggest companies getting involved in one particular event. That is something that Tony Khan cannot let this to pass. He needs a champion to represent. As you know, Punk was supposed to face Tanahashi, but the real question: who will Jon Moxley face? We will find out when that battle royal will take place. I'm assuming we may have that at the at Dynamite. Now, our main event is the TNT Championship. We have Dante Martin along with Matt Sydal versus Scorpio Sky along with Lambert and Ethan Page. Now, as you know, during Double or Nothing, Scorpio Sky is finally done with the shenanigans with Sammy Guevara and Tay Conti. The stipulation was that if they win the trios, Frankie Kazarian and Sammy will never get a title shot of the TNT ever again. However, Dante Martin stepped up, but however, they don't see that he is capable of being this type of match. I mean, look, Dante Martin has been tearing it up ever since he first arrived. We've seen how sensational he is. We've seen how athletic he's been during his time with AEW since he was recruited. And I highly doubt he's one of those wrestlers that's been unhappy. But he put every ounce of energy in this match. Even so, of course, we were going to have Lambert and that moron Page was going to get involved as always, but luckily Matt Sydal took care of him. But however, Scorpio Sky put him down, 1, 2, 3. But if you guys notice, he was limping. So basically, we don't know if this is a serious. I wouldn't be surprised if it is. But that is one thing. I don't know, because remember, we did have an interim TNT champion before. That happened with Cody. And then Sammy became the interim champion. I wouldn't be surprised in that type of scenario that someone would step up. But we will see what happens. So that's pretty much it, what we got with AEW Rampage. I believe it's time for Got to Move, Mei Suruga's 4th anniversary. Okay, our last review is Got to Move's Mei Suruga 4th anniversary, dubbed as Apple Crew. Now, this was a very fun name because people didn't believe in this event anyway. They all thought that there was no one's friends with her, with Mei Suruga. But I have to say the card was pretty good. I have to say great choice of wrestlers that they pick in every aspect. Now, our first match is a 4-way tag team match. Our first team is Sarui and Chonchido, aka also known as Dragon Ninja, taking on Sayaka Obihiro and Shin Suzuki versus Antonio Honda and Tokiko Kihara versus Coyote Yoneyama and Sawadi Kamen. Now, this is a very bit of a pickle with every match. And now, keep in mind, when it comes to Antonio Honda, he's a bit of a trickster. He likes to play comedy into this match. And don't forget, Coyote is a veteran in the Yoshi world. But I did not anticipate how this match turned out, because it was pretty good. I have to say, Dragon Ninja has been stepping up its game for quite some time now. As you know, we haven't seen much of Dragon Ninja for quite some time. We have seen John Shido mostly tearing it up for a while, and then of course Sudi came back. But it's great that they finally get to play this match. But it was John Shido that picked up the victory in this particular match. Now, our next one, we got Chiko Shikawa taking on Aruki Umasaka from Women World Pro Wrestling Diana. Now, if you guys know this or not, Mei Suruga and her are very close friends. They've known each other. They were trained by Emi Sakura before Umasaka went to Diana under Kyoko Inoue. It was great that she ended up in this event because, of course, Mei Suruga wouldn't want it any other way without her involved, who's been a big part in her life. You know, and I thought it was a pretty good match. However, you know, when it comes to Chiko Shikawa, she's all energy. And I don't think she likes her. You know, that's what I think. But it was, of course, Umasaki that picked up the victory by pinfall, finishing Koishikawa, and it was over from there. Now our next match, we have trios action. We got Sayaka, Hagane Shino, and Makoto taking on Saki, Yuna, Mizumori, and Balinaki. I thought this match was pretty good because I like the trio combination of Saki, Yuna, and Balin, because I know Saki has worked with both Mizumori and Aki for many years. She coexisted with both, and not to mention recently they actually did an event not too long ago dressed up as Ghostbusters, and I think they are a pretty good team. But it was Yuna Mizumori that picked up the victory on Sayaka. As you know, Mizumori is one of the powerhouses of the group, and that's what makes her really great to watch. Our next match is for the Asian Dream Tag Team titles. We have Nomsak Toba and Mikami taking on CDK, Masahiro Takanashi, and Chris Brooks. Now, this, I don't know what was the purpose of having these tag titles on the line. I don't recall if these guys, wanted these titles, but I think they just put in them because they want to put something on the table to have a great tag team. But as you know, the Toba, he is a bit of a boxer slash boxer, that sort of way. But you know, that kind of puts in the predicament. But it was a pretty good match. It was Masa that picked up the victory for his team, retaining the titles. But however, right in the post match, Uma Army members, the Kappas, showed up and attacked CDK. Looks like their intention is to get another shot of the tag titles, but some mysterious guy dressed them in that Bruce Lee outfit, the yellow fit, turned out to be Mao. Now keep in mind, in this particular thing, Mao has already beaten what's his name, CDK for the KO for the KOD tag team titles. That's been the very point of it. But however, because of that, Masahiro Takanashi has challenged for the DDT Universal title, which is something that he already has. Now, that match already took place. I haven't seen it. I know the results, but I can't spoil it because I haven't seen it yet. But I'll see what happens then. But it was a good match. Now, our main event, we have two girls who've known each other. We have Zazumi versus Mei Suruga. Now, Zazumi, you know her from Tokyo Pro Wrestling. You know she's been making headways, not only as a singles competitor, but as a tag team with Arisu Endo, known as Daisy Monkey. I mean, she has grown up so much. And I have to say, she really stepped up herself ever since her former tag partner from B-Stars, Miuta, actually left. And I think that's a good thing. And I think she has grown great as a wrestler. She has won several victories in Tokyo Pro, but now she's facing a wrestler who is also has teared it up, not only in Japan, but also all over the world as well, such as in the United States and in the UK at one time. But it was a really interesting match. You probably would assume that Zumi would have won because she has gained a lot of momentum, but I would say so. But it was Mei Suruga who has a lot of the energy, much of the experience than Zazumi. But it was Mei Suruga that picked up the victory onto Zazumi and won the match. And I thought it was a pretty good one. And I think I loved this show because it was pretty amazing. I don't remember if Mei Suruga had like this on her last year for her third year. I don't know. But yeah, I think it was pretty good. I liked the show. It was pretty great. I know it took so long until now to upload it on YouTube, but you can still see it. So if you guys want to have a chance to see it, go ahead. It's on YouTube. You can't miss it. So I think that's pretty much it what we got. So let's move on with our last thing, news updates. Okay, so here are our news updates. Now, if you guys know, we got the Forbidden Door coming up soon on the 26th of June. However, there have been plans for a match date that New Japan and AEW had decided to step up. We're going to have, hopefully if that's the case, Kazuchika Okada as the IWGP World Champion, well, her World Heavyweight Champion, taking on the former AEW World Champion, Hangman Adam Page. Now, we don't know if that's the case, how they want to go, but that's the original plan they want. But in the stipulation, the title will be on the line. That's what they want. Now, our next update, Major League Wrestling has announced the debut of Scarlett Bordeaux. You know her as Killer Kross's fiance. So she will be making her debut in MLW soon on the 23rd of June, which I'm kind of curious. Hopefully she is involved in the women's featherweight division. That's something we could enjoy. Now, I got more information on what's going on. Now, if you guys remember last year, Actwres girls had a lot of changes that took place. Many of the Yoshi wrestlers left. Now, here's the backstory. I did not understand what was going on. They were shutting down 2 of their shows, Colors and Beginnings. What was the reason behind that? Now, this information I did not know at the time until I saw a video by fellow YouTuber named Karen Watches Wrestling. Now, according to her, the reason this happened with Actwres girls because a lot of the girls, apparently Actwres girls their upper management were changing the direction of the promotion. Apparently, they want to focus more on theater type on their performance. That means that many of the wrestlers will no longer be allowed to go to other promotions. Amongst them that I remember was in fact Momo Kogo. Momo originally came from Actwres Girls, but she left in December of 2021. Now, as for other people, like we have the members of Colors, the girls pro wrestling unit Colors, Saki, Rina Amikura, Yuko Sakurai, and Hikari Shimizuku, I think that's her name. They all decided to continue the pattern of the spirit of Colors in their own way. However, Actwres Girls has announced on their Twitter page, especially the English page as well, that they will be making their first return in Corkin Hall in August. They will introduce brand new girls who they recruited. I wonder who's going to be in it. Hopefully I get the chance to see it, but however, I'm not sure if it's going to be the same as what I've seen in the past, and we'll find out. Now, good news. Our current Rev Pro British Undisputed Heavy Cruiserweight Champion, Michael Oku, will make his debut at Garden State Pro Wrestling on, I believe, on August 21st for Thy Kingdom Come. Now, Michael Oku has been tearing up in the wrestling world in the UK. It's great that he's going to come to the States for this promotion, and can't wait to see what's going to happen. Now, our final news, I did mention this in the previous updates. Katsuhiko Nakajima from Congo has replaced Naomichi Marifuji for the trios match that's taking place at Cyber Fight between Noah versus DDT. Now, I did not know exactly what was going on, but the information I got, this is what was going on. This is what I got. He was diagnosed with knee osteoarthritis, arthritis or something like that. The exam shows that he has inflammation and cartilage damage. That parts are gone too, from they're saying. His next examination will take place on the 6th of June. But from there on, they're going to see what's the next course of action for him. We don't know how long he's going to be out. He serves as the vice president of Pro Wrestling Noah. He's been with the company since day one as a wrestler, one of the best junior heavyweight competitors that jumped to heavyweight, that sort of thing. But we'll find out more. I'll keep a tab on Naomichi's conditions, see how it goes. So I think that's pretty much it right now. So I believe let's call it a day. Well, I hope everybody enjoys this episode. Now, I said before, I'm on vacation. Some of you will probably say, J-Rod, you deserve a vacation. You've been working your butt off every day. I appreciate that, but this is how I want to roll for me. The thing is, there's a lot of events I don't want to miss. In particular, there are a few that I don't want to miss, like New Japan. It's one of them, with the finals of the Best of the Super Juniors. We got 2 Stardom events taking place on the 4th and the 5th. But the one that I'm more interested in is the 5th, because we have Colors versus Cosmic Angels. That is a match I definitely want to see because I'm a fan of the Cosmic Angels. I don't know what other events I might miss. I do know there is the GCW event coming up, so a tournament of survival, where we have like a tournament of death matches. So that kind of sets the tone. Luckily, there is some Yoshi Wrestling events that popped up on Watch Pro Wrestling. Amongst them is Pro Wrestling Wave. If you guys love that one, I can definitely review that as soon as possible. And of course, Marvelous. And also there's the Tokyo Yoshi Pro. Those are events I definitely can see. But give me time. I don't know for sure I'll be able to watch all of them. Maybe I'll throw in a little less for all of you, because right now, as you know, I got family where I'm at right now, and I really want to spend something with them. But we'll see what happens then. So keep that in mind. But for now, I'm gonna call it a day, and I'll see you guys in the next DWZ time. Same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So goodbye. Mwah. And have a nice day. Bang.